setup. Prop diameter, prop pitch, the amount of cup that's on the prop, even the position of the motor on the transom or the jack plate. All are factors to consider when you're working on your boat, trying to get, good performance out of it. So anyway, this one, when I bought the boat, actually had this aluminum propeller on it. I keep that for a spare. The 81 Glastron SV 175, so 17.5 feet long with a 150 Mariner on it. This particular motor was just the standard motor, so it's only a 2 liter. It's not the 2.5. So I'm not going to spin quite the pitch of prop that some would. Probably average on a 2.5, maybe on the same boat. Set up correctly, it'd probably be about a 23 pitch. Depending if it had a 21, seems about right. It's a little bit under pitched. So what I did, well, first what I did was larger pitch. So this one's a 22. It was just a skosh misrepresented online. It said it was a 14-inch prop. I knew the other one was 14 and a half, and actually it's a 13 and a half inch prop. So you can see with these props, hopefully it's kind of obvious, kind of hard. This one is smaller and definitely lighter. I can lift this one with one hand. This one, I can lift it with a hand, but it's not as easy to maneuver as this one is. So this one I put on, took it out and tried it. This one too has ventilation here to help the prop come out of the hole. Spins a little exhaust gas over the blades. It connects good. You get the with water. It starts propelling you across the water. Eventually, you get to a certain speed, and the vent holes don't really do much as far as this is ventilation. The other issue you can too is, if you look at this one, the barrel on this one was smaller fit, so we're not real tight to the housing. And actually that prop, now that I got a little bit more info on it, should have done it before I bought it, but is actually set up for like the 135s, which has a smaller case here, not as big around. I think that's a 4-inch, and these are like 4 1/4, 4 1/2. So instead of all the gas coming out through the center, some of it comes out over the top. Plus, with the ventilation holes, made this boat, you had to be careful and not over rev it coming out of the hole, even though it's a higher pitch. And it took a little bit more as too that just the sheer size of this prop grabs more water. This thing really shoots out of the hole well. I bought the new prop, ran it, and it just didn't perform as I had hoped. You could run it, but the RPMs were too high. It'd go over 6. This boat's supposed to run around 58, or I'm sorry, 56. The issue I had with this 21 is that I was running, I want to stay at 56 or maybe a hair under 56. Again, it's getting the prop up to, and would like to give kudos to Precision Propeller in Spokane a little bit, maybe get, he said, a couple miles an hour more out of it. And he took a look at that prop and he said, I've worked this prop before. So anyway, he definitely did me right. So I'm going to pull this aluminum off here. I don't know if this is kind of geared towards, a newbie. So I'll show you how the prop comes off and replace. Also show you what that laser looked like with that smaller hub on there, and I'll show you where it so one of the first things I do is I use a pick that's got a little 90-degree bend on it, and if you can see these tabs here, these are bent in to keep the nut from rotating. So I just grab that, pull it so it's straight, slightly out. my impact, and I've got a let's see, what do we got here? 1 1/16 socket. Air wrench makes it easy. Otherwise, it's probably best to have a prop tool. With the air wrench, you don't have to worry about the propeller spinning on you as you're trying to loosen that. So get that on. Nut off the prop and basically slide this guy right on out. Be careful with that. Don't let it fall. That's actually what the fold over goes, and then it also locks onto the spline so it won't turn. Laser 2. Slide that on there. Now, if you've seen that other prop, get you in here a little bit. You've seen that other prop came clear out to this edge. So now we've got a little bit of a gap showing. What that does is, since exhaust comes out this way, exhaust comes up over the blades, thus giving you venting, which increases that air exhaust around the prop, so it doesn't have quite the drag on it as if it was just solid water going. So it gets the RPMs of the motor up a little bit faster. But you can see with that gap, we're not just depending on these vent holes again for doing that. We're actually getting here, and I think on this particular boat it was just a little bit too much. What you can buy is, they actually make a component, I believe it's plastic, that goes up over this and locks in here, and what it does is it fills most of that space so you don't get that venting over the hub. Now, some props are called over the hub props. On my old bass boat, I had a over the hub prop, an OMC over the hub prop. Real narrow center piece here and really long blades on it. And first, get the old stuff off. This is called a thrust washer. This keeps the propeller from going too far into this housing here. Marine grade grease. We're not really gooping it up. We're just getting enough on there that when it comes time to remove this again, that be no chance of it being like seized on there. Now, some of these props have a little bit different makeup, especially that older one. This component goes all the way down. It's actually you pressed in, I believe. It'd be really hard to get that out of there. This one's one of the newer style hubs, and what it allows you to do, there's the piece, it's separate. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's to allow a little nut. Look at it, make sure it's not guiled. It's okay. Down with the impact. Like to do is back it just a skosh, take it down tight, back it just a skosh. I mean, we're not pounding this thing on either. And then I get it just to where I can line up these push tabs that go in there. And then that keeps that nut from spinning. Just take a screwdriver. Actually, it could rotate just a skosh more. There we go. Definitely don't want the prop coming off while you're running.